Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Smithville, Fiber Internet, Security Solutions, and Voice in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Mallard Grodner Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. LawMG.com. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnership with communities and organizations. rural.indiana.edu. And by WTIU members. Thank you.
Coming up on Indiana Newsdesk. Backlash was swift and loud after the Monroe County Community School Corporation announced a change last week that would put all 4 high schools on a common schedule. The school board listened, putting the brakes on the proposal this week. Held up in the Board of Public Works for weeks, now it's the weather that's putting the Bloomington monolith on hold until at least next year.
We don't have a clear update on exactly where we're going with this at the moment.
2 contracts worth more than $1 million for the project are in jeopardy. And we visit the rundown Knox County Poor Asylum, which one group is hoping to save. We'll have these stories plus the latest news from across the state right now on Indiana Newsdesk. Welcome to Indiana Newsdesk. I'm Joe Wren. When the Monroe County Community School Corporation emailed parents last Friday its plan to put its 4 high schools on a common schedule next year, the pushback was immediate and loud. As Pat Bean reports, it was also effective as the school board stopped the process in its tracks.
A protest on the courthouse square against the schedule change drew more than 100 people Monday, and Tuesday night's school board meeting was packed with those wanting to speak out. The main complaints were about what they perceived was a rushed process by Superintendent Jeff Oswald's administration.
I hope you hear my voice clearly and loudly tonight as I state clearly, the superintendent has chosen not to listen to the heart of these high schools, which are the teachers and students, and therefore must be removed.
McCall was the first of more than 40 parents, students, and community members who came to the meeting to protest the schedule change. The proposal would put Bloomington North, Bloomington South, the Academy of Science and Entrepreneurship, and the graduation school on a common hybrid block schedule of 8 60-minute classes. North currently has alternating days of 4 80-minute classes and uses semesters. South is on a trimester schedule and has the same 5 60-minute classes every day. Student Noah Torres said the flexibility of South's schedule was a lifeline for him after both his parents died by suicide.
I was able to move around my schedule and create trimesters that were each academically balanced and allowed me to deal with these changes while not slipping in school.
He also praised the teachers, who many said were left out of the process.
These teachers have aided me financially, emotionally. They have been counselors for me. They have guided me. And without them, it's morbid to say, but I can't see myself turning out very differently from my parents.
In the end, they all got what they came for. The schedule change is on hold until at least the 2025-2026 school year, and any decision on future schedule changes now rest with the school board and not the superintendent. Oswald took responsibility for the way the proposed change came about.
I sincerely apologize for a process that is maybe overly complex or messy. That wasn't our intent.
The board action resulted from a motion by board member April Hennessy that wasn't even on the meeting minutes. But after listening for 2.5 hours as speaker after speaker railed against the schedule, Hennessy's motion was introduced. Along with taking the power to change school schedules from the superintendent, it included 5 main points: continue with the focus groups as planned, share data with board and the community, create a citizens advisory committee, consult with the Teachers Association, and delay implementation until at least 2025-2026.
I would ask of you to consider how we execute that responsibility. I'd ask that we do so with a process that is above board, that builds trust rather than diminishes it, and does so in a way that is data-informed, measurable, and collaborative with the stakeholders who've entrusted us to lead.
A lengthy and sometimes heated discussion between the board and Oswald followed, much of it centering on the question of equity, the driving force behind the schedule change.
I
understand.
No, I don't know that you do right now. Because, no, please let me speak.
I'll let you speak.
I'm asking because I have been asking repeatedly for numbers. I want to know the numbers of the students that are impacted.
Oswald says that 100 students have been forced to transfer over the past 5 years.
When we have a student that has been negatively impacted or harmed, there's urgency there.
And almost 5 hours after the meeting began, the motion was put to a vote and passed 4-3. The messy process may bleed over into another critical issue regarding MCCSC, the upcoming election where another school referendum is on the ballot.
And I am very upset by this schedule fiasco, and I'm really torn with what to do with the referendum. It would be my first time to vote no.
But at least for now, it will be scheduled as usual for MCCSC's 4 high schools. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Pat Bean.
That school referendum is on the ballot for a second straight election in Monroe County. Last year's referendum to fund teacher salary increases passed with nearly 67% of the vote. This year, MCCSC is asking for the tax increase to mainly fund early childhood education. After weeks of delays, the city of Bloomington says it's unable to build a monolith in Miller Showers Park this year. Officials say they're now considering changes to the design. Ethan Sandwise takes a close look at where this monolith came from and how public backlash derailed the city's plans.
Squeezed between heavy traffic on Walnut Street and College Avenue, Miller Showers Park is Bloomington's entrance for travelers heading downtown. Their first impression of the city could be a 40-foot monolith with light-up letters spelling Bloomington. The city announced construction publicly in September. Backlash was immediate.
We set up a protest as a Public Arts Citizens Committee that was on October 11th at City Hall, and that was the third time that the Department of Public Works did not move it forward.
Criticism mainly focused on the monolith's design. Some critics balked at the $1 million price tag and worried about the effect of LED lights on migratory birds. After multiple delays getting permission to build from the Board of Public Works, the monolith that was approved years ago is in limbo. The Parks Department says it may change the design.
We don't have a clear update on exactly where we're going with this at the moment. However, we are looking at different aspects of the project, considering what we've heard from the public and the Board of Public Works. And other folks in determining how we can best move this forward.
It's unclear what happens next with the 2 contracts worth almost $1 million for the project.
But anybody who does work for us, we will pay them. If it ends up being a very different gateway and it's not the same provider, then we may owe them some money for design if that gets changed.
Is there a possibility that because of the delay, the contract might fall through?
Unclear at this time.
Planning this monument played out in the open, in public meetings over 5 years. How were the people of Bloomington caught so off guard? Hamilton pitched to City Council selling $10 million in bonds to improve parks, trees, alleys, and entrances, including beautification of the city's gateways for the city's bicentennial in 2018.
Such as at the Miller Showers Park Gateway.
Again, I think this is a good community investment. I see this as a legacy project.
The entryways, if they were standalone, I would vote against that.
The public got its first peek at the monolith design by Indianapolis architecture firm Rundle Ernstberger Associates at a Board of Park Commissioners meeting in December 2019. It was one of 3 proposed and shared on the city website. The process was delayed by the pandemic, and the monolith's design didn't resurface until 3 years later, when the Park Commission sent it to the Arts Commission for comment. Despite some criticism, the Parks Commission revealed images publicly in an open meeting.
If there's anyone who is attending virtually, if you'd like to use the raised hand feature for public comment.
Nobody from the public weighed in. That changed after a city press release this fall that brought the monolith into the spotlight.
This phallic symbol that's being proposed for the entrance to the city with the picture Bloomington on it and colored lights comes as a great surprise to many of us. And an affront, I must say.
Somebody started the All Hail the Monolith Facebook group, which was kind of a satire, chiding.
The monolith was approved and contracts were signed. All that remained was one procedural step, getting right-of-way from the Board of Public Works so contractors could begin. But for 3 meetings in a row, the board tabled the vote. Normally, attendance at Public Works meetings is sparse, but the monolith discussion attracted a vocal group of critics. Board President Kyla Cox-Deckard says her decision had nothing to do with public pressure. She was worried about how right-of-way could complicate Public Works' College Walnut Corridor study.
My concerns really were the connection between these 2 city projects and the way that we could make those work best with the least amount of impact to the right-of-way for the public, especially that particularly busy intersection.
We do not have a second at this time. Motion fails.
When nobody seconded the motion in the October 10th meeting, the audience applauded. The monolith is still in the works, but Street and Hamilton say they're considering public feedback made late in the process.
I know it was certainly out there in the public a couple times before we reached this final release that came out in September. I also understand that some people didn't find it or maybe missed that, and that's something we can continue to look at.
Sometimes you get a process of input, whether it's on a park or it's on a gateway or it's on a plan, and we get a lot of public input, and then people may look at it later and say, hey, I didn't get to weigh in on that, I want to weigh in on that. Sometimes it's too late, sometimes it's not, and government tries to accommodate that as best we can.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Ethan Sandweiss.
We're now joined by Ethan Sandweiss just for a little bit more. So that monolith, that was only a small part of that whole project.
Well, it's a big part of what the original project was going to be, but it was also supposed to include this pedestrian bridge, Arlington pedestrian bridge over State Road 45, and INDOT ended up nixing that. Anyway, the entire project is over $1 million. $134,000 are going to the architecture firm that designed the monolith. $400,000 are going to the firm that are building the monolith, and then another $575,000 are going to the installation people, the construction workers in Bloomington.
So now they're saying this is not going to happen until next year. So there's going to be a new administration.
Yeah, I spoke with Carrie Thompson about this morning, actually, and Carrie Thompson said that she's glad that the mayor hit pause on this project for now, and she wants to look at some of those earlier designs that were proposed by the architecture firm as a jumping off point for this project.
All right, Ethan, thanks so much for that. We're joined now by Callie Lichter for the latest headlines from across the state. Hi, Callie.
Hi, Joe. Biopharma Solutions, which was sold in May by Baxter International Incorporated, will be renamed Simtra Biopharma Solutions. The company on Bloomington's west side employs about 700 people. Simtra Biopharma says it will concentrate on community-based growth, creating new local job opportunities. Some of the new career opportunities will specialize in sterile injectables, as Simtra will partner with pharmaceutical and biotech companies to improve injectable medicine production. The Bloomington facility has been in operation for 27 years. Temperatures across the state approached 80 degrees this week. It's part of a troubling trend of warm weather during colder months. O'Neill professor Kimberly Novick says this September was the hottest September on record, with October following in its footsteps.
If you and your listeners are noticing that the temperatures seem a little warmer than normal, it's not your imagination. 2023 is on track to be the hottest year in the recent history.
Novick attributes rising temperatures to long-term climate change driven by fossil fuel emissions, but she says these effects have been exaggerated by the natural climate phenomenon El Nino. The city of Bloomington is one step closer to transforming the former hospital site south of downtown. The Redevelopment Commission approved a $353,000 demolition contract last week with Renascent Incorporated on the site of the future Hopewell neighborhood. Renascent is the same company that demolished the old hospital. 9 buildings and one of 2 listed as alternate options will be demolished: the former Bloomington Convalescent Center and a home on First Street. Monroe County has a new web page for local geographic data. Called the Geographic Information System, it centralizes different types of data on Monroe County. That includes information on the 2024 solar eclipse path, local community resources, historical aerial imagery, racially restrictive covenants, and local 2020 census blocks and demographics.
These include a number of public-facing applications, as well as some kind of data analysis tools that I think are going to be have some widespread interest for residents of Monroe County and elsewhere.
The county also gathers land record data, including property owners and sales information. Indiana U.S. Senator Mike Braun introduced a bill to more than double the size of Indiana's only wilderness area and designate it, along with the land around it, a national recreation area. As Rebecca Thiel reports, national recreation areas are lands near large reservoirs that allow people to do outdoor activities like fishing, swimming, and boating.
Altogether, the proposed national recreation area would span about 57,000 acres around Charles C. Dean Wilderness, southeast of Bloomington. Braun says the fact that so many landowners lease their land for hunting in the state shows there's a market for more outdoor recreation.
Many of my constituents that I've gotten to know weighed in on how they wish there was more land available for pure recreation.
The national designation would also help protect the water quality in Lake Monroe, which serves as drinking water for more than 128,000 households in southern Indiana. Braun says because all of the land is currently owned by the Hoosier National Forest, no new land would need to be acquired from private landowners. Braun is currently running for Indiana governor in the 2024 election. For Indiana Public Broadcasting, I'm Rebecca Thiel.
Indiana Secretary of State Diego Morales has launched a text hotline where voters can get information and report issues about elections. To use the new tool, Hoosiers text IN to 45995. They will then receive a link that takes them to a website where they can request information, ask a question, report a problem, or file a complaint. Morales' office says election staff will then follow up with people directly. Republican gubernatorial candidate Brad Chambers wants to create measures aimed at helping to protect children online.
Addressing the challenges that parents have in today's, technology environment is super important to just make a priority.
His proposal would require stricter age verification on social media, gaming platforms, and adult sites. It would limit data collection of users under age 18, and it would require education in schools about the benefits and dangers of social media. But Joe, similar efforts in other states have met legal hurdles.
All right, Election Day coming up.
Yeah, very, very soon.
Thanks, Callie. Coming up next on Indiana Newsdesk. A nonprofit in Vincennes is hoping to turn the rundown Knox County Poor Asylum into an end-of-life care center. And we check in with the Bloomington High School North Band, which is competing for a state championship this weekend. These stories and more right here on Indiana Newsdesk.
I have always believed that people are at the heart of every story we tell.
Any story or interview that makes people who watch it say, I hadn't thought of it in that way. That for me is gold.
I like to be able to leave the viewer with some sort of emotion, whether it's outrage, whether it's someone overcoming long odds, telling a big story through an individual story.
What makes the NewsHour different is that we have time to be thoughtful about the stories that we tell, the voices that we intend to elevate.
I know the role that good journalism plays in making all of us feel more connected to each other, in helping all of us understand each other a little bit better. I see this as a mission, and I see this as a service.
Welcome back to Indiana Newsdesk. A group in Vincennes hopes to save an endangered poorhouse and transform it into a hospice. But Ethan Sandweiss reports that decay and financial shortfalls could mean the clock is running out.
Standing alone in a field in Knox County, an abandoned 19th century asylum isn't the first place you'd think to send an ailing relative. But County Farm Hospice House Incorporated hopes you will.
I thought, what a great idea if we would take the old poor farm that used to serve our community for indigent people and repurpose it into something, again, that is going to be used by the community.
Barmas grew up in Vincennes, in the shadow of the Knox County Poor Asylum. He remembers neighbors visiting relatives in the asylum, which closed its doors in 1974.
Every Sunday after church, they'd come out here and they would have a meal with, one of their family members. So yeah, there's a lot of good stories that come out of this facility.
Now his nonprofit owns this site. Barmas and his wife hope to transform the derelict building into an end-of-life care center.
My wife's a nurse, and when she was working hospice, she noticed there was a void in the hospice care. A lot of times people didn't have a place to go.
Barmas says he's driven past the asylum almost every day of his life, but it wasn't until 2020 that he saw it up close. That's when he decided it needed saving.
This is a poor farm. Why would you worry about detail? But they did, and that's what makes the building special to me, was they took the time to give the building detail.
Between 1831 and 1860, state law required every county to build a poor asylum. 47 remain standing. For its architectural significance and contribution to local history, the federal government added the Knox County Asylum to the National Register of Historic Places in 2018.
You had blind and lame and insane and feeble-minded and just unemployed for one reason or another. They broke an arm or whatever. And so how would you deal with those?
Knox County built this facility in 1882 on the site of the previous asylum.
One of the inmates there set fire to it and burned it down. Mr. Smith was his name. And of course, they couldn't do anything to him because he was crazy. And so they then proceeded to build a new, more improved poorhouse.
Knox County hired Evansville architect Joseph K. Frick, a regionally prominent designer of poorhouses and courthouses.
The design he came up with was the popular style of the day, what's called the Italianate style, that has the arched windows, the hoods above the windows, and it has projecting roof, and then there's brackets in underneath the eaves.
Day and Barmas are both taken with the asylum's beauty, but its history was not always beautiful.
I guess for lack of better terms, would you call it the rubber room? Sometimes this is called the asylum, the insane asylum, because of insane people, and they didn't know what to do with them.
Nobody really wanted to stay in the poorhouse if possible. It was always considered to be not the place to go, and they would even offer to move elsewhere if they would be given the money to move away from this, just to get away from it. But some people didn't have any choice.
For 2 years, Indiana Landmarks has listed the asylum among the 10 most endangered historic places in the state. Extensive damage to the roof threatens what remains, but Barmas says it can still be saved. He estimates it would take around $3 million to do so.
This is going to take the community's help, and hopefully we can rally the community's help to do this, because it would break my heart to see this building in a pile of rubble.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Ethan Sandweiss.
The Bloomington North Cougar Band qualified this year for the state's marching band final Saturday at Lucas Oil Stadium. Katie Spack met up with the band at one of its final rehearsals.
On Tuesday and Thursday evenings, you may hear the shout of trumpets or the click of a metronome coming from the Bloomington North High School football field. The Cougar Band has been practicing its show, Little Red and the Big Bad, since mid-July. This year, the Cougars secured a spot at finals with their highest score ever. The 84-member ensemble is super excited to perform in front of an audience of thousands on Saturday.
They read the top 10 finalist bands in performance order, so you know right away if you're one of the top 10 finalists out of the 20 groups that played last Saturday.
The band has spent more than 200 hours choreographing drills, learning marching fundamentals, and committing each note to memory. On top of that, they do a dozen performances throughout the season, including football halftime shows, parades, and community concerts.
In general, it's a really hard show, but I think we're doing really, really exceptional this year.
The show features a mix of classical excerpts from Beethoven and Mozart, as well as jazz standards from Miles Davis and Duke Ellington. Pogue says the sport means more to him than competing.
So going to the competitions, I get to see all my friends from other schools, and it's very competitive, but we all do it for the good fun of just performing and having fun with our friends.
It creates a really great sense of community, learning how to work together, being accountable to somebody other than yourself.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Katie Spack.
This year marks the 50th anniversary of the Indiana marching competition. The team on the other sideline is not the only opponent Indiana has been battling. 3 straight losses have tested the morale of the Hoosiers heading into Saturday's game at number 10, Penn State. Indiana head coach Tom Allen says he challenged his team's leaders to rise up.
Just talk to them about, life and how you battle through difficult times and being able to stay the course and stay together and what that means, what that looks like. And I like the way they responded. Obviously, we got to prove it on game day.
Saturday's game kicks off at noon on CBS. That's the end of this program. Have a great weekend.
Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Smithville, fiber internet, security solutions, and voice in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Mallard Grodner Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. lawmg.com. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnership with communities and organizations. rural.indiana.edu. And by WTIU members. Thank you.